Thank you so much, Madam Malik. I think I would like to speak to the 100% transition, and then later on I'll say something about the school unrest. Now, the government came up with a policy of 100% transition, and last year we were doing our fourth cohort in the year 2018. The government came up with a policy. And I think before I come to that, I would like to say that as a ministry, we used to admit our student selection process to select the students that can fit to the schools or the vacancies that were available. Thereafter, nobody cared where the remaining over 200,000 students. So there was a deliberate effort to ensure that we accommodate all the learners. As my colleague has said, the CBC is out to accommodate every child. And therefore, in the year 2018, a decision was made to ensure that every child accesses education. And it's very important for us to know that if we do not allow every child to access education, we lose them, and they become a source of problem of insecurity in our country. So in the year 2018, we started by ensuring that all the candidates who sat for KCPE were selected and admitted to secondary. The reason is because basic education is compulsory, and therefore we must ensure that every child accesses basic education. That is why we pride ourselves that from 2018, we have ensured that all the learners transit, and a number of them, of course, will transit into vocational institutions. But however, that can only be done for those who are above 18, and those who would say strong feelings that they do not need to go to secondary. We had a case last year that of a child that the cabinet secretary intervened and ensured that went to secondary. But then, after 2 weeks, he said his mind is set up to go to a vocational training institute. You see, the effort was made to ensure that this person accesses secondary education. So currently, we actually were able to admit practically all the learners and account for all the learners that sat for KCPE. So this year we expect the same. Of course, that's come with a number of challenges, but it's better for us to solve the challenges when the children are in school. Somebody would say that are we not compromising on the quality of education? You know, we cannot talk about quality when we have children outside the education system. It's better for every person to be catered for in education. We would say that education is the last bus that carries everybody along, and nobody should be left out for whatever reason out of the education system. So that is what we would say about 100% transition. I will still come back to some other issues in our docket. The other issue that I think is pertinent or is current, and the panel has weighed in on this, is the issue of school unrest. And let's say that we call it a perennial unrest, or it is cyclic. The ministry is trying its level best to ensure that such issues are addressed. One of the things that we have done is to collaborate with the Ministry of Interior because the causes of school unrest are immediate. In fact, the task force that that went round in the year 2016 discovered that more than 60% of the issues that cause unrest are actually things to do with the school environment. And that is why we are now addressing ourselves to the school environment, particularly on the aspects of management and infrastructure within our institutions. So those are some of the things that we are doing to address ourselves. But I would like to say that the ministry is doing its work to ensure that those issues where we have criminal incidences, we have invited the security agencies to take up those, and a number of persons and even students have been arraigned before court to answer to charges of arson and malicious damage to school property. Sadly, I think a number of we have lost a number of lives, which is regrettable, and that is a criminal issue that is being handled by that. I would like to say that the worrying aspect of this is that learners have become more violent with time. If we look at the past school unrest, it was just boycott, picketing, and all that, but see now it has assumed a serious violent dimension. Now, we also weigh in on the role that the public and the parents can help to solve this issue. And one of the things that we have noted from research is that in most cases, the learners will speak to their parents candidly on the issues. And therefore, I think answering one of the questions that has been posed by one of the participants is that what is the ministry doing to bring together the parents and the teachers, or the school administration, I mean the board of management and students together to solve this issue. And as I began, I say that most of these issues that cause unrest are issues that can be solved within the school, and therefore we are urging the school, and actually we have issued guidelines to the schools to ensure that they engage all stakeholders, and the major stakeholder in this case is our parent, because the opinion of a parent over a child is normally very strong, and therefore, if we are able to tap into the role and the support of the parents, some of these issues would be addressed almost immediately. So that's some of the things that I thought maybe I would weigh in. As a sector, I think my colleague has mentioned about the issue of the new curriculum. On the issue of preparation for examination, I want to say that the ministry, Kenya National Examination Council, is ready to administer the 5 examinations this calendar year. It's going to be a tough year, but we are ready for this. And all things standing constant, our calendar is supposed to normalize at the end of this year. So thank you so much. I think that's what I would say. And that's now, I think I can now do the Q&A from the participants.